Ladies and gentlemen, this man has not seen Harlem Nights. He has not seen Harlem Nights. I want you to go into the comments now and tell him to watch that movie. It's on Amazon Prime, and it is free. Or watch Harlem Nights.
And as I told him, if I haven't watched Harlem Nights by the end of Black History Month, he can condemn me. So
I will.
But don't worry, Harlem Nights is on my list for 2022 to watch. So. Hello, all my movie-loving maniacs, and welcome to another episode of Lassiter Factor. I'm your host, Bradford Lassiter, and in this video, we are going to talk about my top 10 favorite movies of 2021, and I brought back my guest, David Williams, after that last video we did, and I wanted to bring him on because I wanted to get some of his thoughts on some of my favorite movies. But first, like, how you doing, David?
I was gonna get in there. I'm almost there.
You're almost there. So let's get into it. These are my top 10 favorite movies of 2021. But first, I'd like to give you a couple of honorable mentions. Such as, well, first off, let me tell you about some of what I thought was some of the worst movies, aka the movies that I just personally dislike more than the Tom and Jerry movie and Space Jam: A New Legacy, and that was The Forever Purge, The Little Things, and Thunder Force. Yeah, those.
You actually watched that?
What, Thunder Force?
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so Army of the Dead and Army of the Thieves, I thought those were some pretty good Netflix movies that were made by Zack Snyders. So this was pretty much the year for Zack Snyder, between the Snyder Cut, which we'll get into later, and then he comes out with something new, back to his roots. So I thought that was pretty good, and he's expanding that universe with Army of Thieves. And so I can't wait to see what it does with Planet of the Dead. Nobody was a good little John Wick-ish movie that I very much enjoyed. It was a fun time, great action. You seen Nobody?
Nobody? It sounds familiar. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, it has what's his name that plays Saul from Breaking Bad.
Oh no, in that case, no, I had not.
Let's see. Another honorable mention of mine is this movie called I Care a Lot, which starred Rosamund Pike as this con artist that grants guardianship of senior citizens, takes all their assets and then put them in a hole and isolate them from everybody. That movie made me so mad, but it was so damn entertaining. You seen that?
I've seen that, and that movie scared the shit out of me.
Oh, believe me, it scared the shit out of me because I'm scared for somebody to do that shit to my grandfather. But yeah, Cruella was actually one of the better live-action Disney remakes, I might say. You seen that?
Yes, I did. That was actually a good one. I enjoyed it.
Fatherhood was released on Netflix in a good little movie starring Kevin Hart, I might say. You seen that?
I need to see that.
I'll give a little bit of love to Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I actually enjoyed that movie a little bit more than the first movie.
When it comes to stream, I'll see it.
Malignant, which is a horror film that I thought was a lot better than I actually thought it was. And I know how you are with horror movies, so I'm not even gonna add.
They take the wrong black brother every time.
The Fear Street trilogy on Netflix, another horror trilogy that I actually liked. No Time to Die, which I thought was pretty much Daniel Craig's swan song as James Bond. I actually thought it was good. It was definitely a lot better than Spectre, and they definitely sent his version of the character off perfectly. And I know at this point you still ain't seen it because nope.
Nope.
Why not?
Alright, here's why I didn't see Daniel Craig's Tomorrow Never. What is it?
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die? No Time to Die? Well, one, Daniel Craig didn't want to do the movie any damn way. So, I could probably see the boredom on his face. He couldn't, but I can't. No.
Yes, I'll agree that he really didn't want to do this, but he still laid it all out for his last movie. I feel like
they also laid it all out on his paycheck too. Look how much he got paid in that movie.
But even still, like I feel like acting wise, he still laid it out. In fact, I'll say it's because he knew it was his last one as to why he laid it all out. It's kind of like Han Solo in The Force Awakens when he dies. It's like he knew he was about to be out soon. When Kylo Ren struck him with a lightsaber, when Han Solo falls, he might as well just said freedom. And that's how I feel with Daniel Craig. Spoiler alert, but Daniel Daniel Craig's James Bond dies because he was stuck on an island and some nukes hit him. And so when that first nuke hit him, he might as well have said freedom. So yeah, No Time to Die. Another honorable mention of mine is Malcolm and Mary, which starred what is his name? It's Denzel's son. Hold on, I'm gonna put some respect on his name. Hold on, let me look up his name. John David Washington and Zendaya. They were in the movie. It was black and white. I like the style of it, but it was just one big long argument between the couple. So I would advise you not to watch it with your significant other. Yeah, because you might just go to bed angry at each other or just revealing things about each other that you did not agree on. So.
See it now. Woman, you've been sleeping with the milkman.
So, but Malcolm and Mary, I definitely recommend that. Zula, A24 is on a roll. I definitely like Zula. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, another Marvel film that made my honorable mentions. I do like the film, I genuinely do, but I think that the only reason this didn't make my top 10 is because I feel like the Marvel formula is really starting to show in this movie. But I still dig the action, and I can't wait to see what they do with the character going forward. You still ain't seen Shang-Chi yet?
No, is it $30 off of it?
It's free on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
I've been telling you this.
Give me time. Give me time. I'll get to it.
Raya and the Last Dragon is probably my favorite animated movie of this year, and I like it because it was a Disney movie, but it wasn't a musical. It was like a straightforward action film. I like the performances. Kelly Marie Tran got her. Well, I won't even say redemption. Disney finally did right by her by giving her this starring role. What's your thoughts on Raya and the Last Dragon?
I did not see it yet. I will go see it. I plan on seeing it with the kids. With what are they called?
With kids.
Minions.
Jesus.
I call them minions.
Jesus.
But speaking of animated movies, let's talk about a real animated movie, Demon Slayer: The Mugen Train. That is the top animated movie of this year. People, it'll make you cry, it'll make you cheer, it'll bring all sorts of emotions to you. Trust me, when I went to the movie theaters, everybody cried in that movie theater. Even I shed a manly tear.
Well, you heard it from him. And I will eventually get into him when I go on the anime binge. So.
Sooner or later.
Some other honorable mentions of mine is Respect, which was the Aretha Franklin story starring Jennifer Hudson. I really like that movie. I dug it. Jennifer Hudson's probably best performance in years. You've seen the Aretha Franklin movie, Respect?
No, my mother has though.
Yeah, in fact, another fun fact, my mom watched it and she cried at the end of it. So, More Than Miyagi is, let me see. Yeah, More Than Miyagi is my second favorite.
Oh God, I knew I was supposed to watch that too.
Yeah, More Than Miyagi is my second favorite documentary of the year. It is about Pat Morita, who played Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies. That is a documentary. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you feel happy for him, but it'll make you feel sad that once you seeing what this man went through in his lifetime, you'll be like, damn. But I highly recommend it. Last Night in Solo, which is an Edgar Wright film that came out this year, and this movie really showed his directing range. You seen that?
Last Night in
Soho.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I definitely gotta recommend that to you. Bruce, which is not only starring Halle Berry, but also directed by Halle Berry. It was released on Netflix. That movie was brutal as shit, and I loved it. I can't wait to see Halle Berry's next directorial outing.
I saw it on Netflix. I was thinking about watching it, but I said, I don't want to see.
Why not?
I don't know if I want to see that.
Tick Tick Boom, which is my second favorite musical of this year. This is definitely the year of musicals, but Tick Tick Boom, it starred Andrew Garfield, and I'll say this, I did like Andrew Garfield as an actor. It's just his Spider-Man movies also was a cloud over him whenever I viewed him, but Tick Tick Boom was the movie that really sold him on him being a great actor. If you have not seen that, I highly recommend it. I know you probably haven't seen it. The United States versus Billie Holiday. Damn. Okay, so another movie I'm gonna mention later on, which might be my top favorite movie of 2021. But that movie and United States versus Billie Holiday, I like that movie not just for her performances and the subject matter itself, but this movie and another movie that came out this year to me showed how much the FBI will really go through great lengths to ruin someone's life if they do not align with their ideals and whatever, like more than anything. So you seen it?
No, I've heard about it though. I heard about it. I said I can't see that.
Yeah. Eternals, which is another Marvel movie that came out this year. Critics were split on it. Critics hated it. I don't care what y'all say. I love this movie. It was probably one of the most ambitious things Marvel put out this year. I know you still ain't seen that yet.
Coming to Disney Plus soon.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Just so you know, for free.
That's right. For free.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they go see it in the movie theaters. I knew it was coming out for free.
But Eternals, I love that movie, but didn't crack my top 10 quite a bit. No, so yeah, my favorite comedy of the year is Bad Trip, which is on Netflix. It stars Eric Idle. It's kind of like a Jackass movie, but they put themselves in situations where real life people in the background or whatever actually react. But it's hilarious. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it.
Bad Trip. Oh no, I haven't seen that. I saw. What was that? There was one movie with John Cena, and there were was the Best Man. No.
Is it on Hulu?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the name of it. But I still ain't seen that yet, though.
Oh, come on, Brad. Never mind. I haven't seen a lot. I can't get you on that.
But don't worry, I'm gonna watch that though. And the last of my honorable mentions is another Netflix movie called The Harder They Fall, which is probably one of the best westerns I've seen in years.
Wait a minute. That's an honorable mention?
Yeah.
What's on your real list?
It's coming. But The Harder They Fall, I fucking love that movie. That movie was brutal as shit. It was action-packed. It was a stacked black cast. If you have not seen The Harder They Fall, I highly recommend that. The Harder They Fall.
I have seen that. Watched it with moms. If it's good enough for her, it's good enough for you.
And now we're gonna get into my actual top 10. And starting at number 10 is A Quiet Place Part 2. Now, I know how you feel about horror movies, so I'm not even going to ask you if you've seen it or if you even have opinions about it. But A Quiet Place Part 2, I still prefer the first movie, but I still like Part 2 and how they expanded that story through the little deaf girl and then her mom, played by Emily Blunt, and then they meeting a new character played by Cillian Murphy, and how they're still trying to survive the situation and the way they ended off. I can't wait to see what they do with Part 3. And John Krasinski, he's really making a name for himself as a director. So,
God, they have 3 parts? 3 parts?
I mean, the third part ain't out yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
Jesus.
So yeah, no thoughts on The Quiet Place Part 2?
I haven't seen Quiet Place. I haven't seen The Quiet Place Part 1.
Alright, coming in at number 9 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Who would have thought that this movie will be a big hit? I mean, like, I like this movie for a number of reasons. I just like the hype surrounding it or leading up to it. Because, like, the fans, you asked for it, you made it known. The hashtag release the Snyder Cut it, and then we got it. And I watched all 4 hours of it in one day. I bought it on Blu-ray, and I loved it. And I'm sorry, and I want to apologize for Zack Snyder for ever doubting him, but you fucking did it. You sold me. I don't know about the extra stuff you added in the movie, but I'm definitely curious, and I really want to see the Snyderverse continue. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. But I doubt it's ever going to happen because Zack Snyder, he has made it very clear that he wants to move on from this, as you can see in the Army of the Dead series. But we shall see. What's your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. I sat down through all 4 hours of it myself. I didn't really feel it, but I was at home, and I had food in front of me, so
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the thing. Like, you didn't feel it because you was at home. You was in the comfort of your own home. So yeah, definitely that. So yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League at number 9. At number 8 is my favorite documentary that came out this year, and that is Val, which is about the actor Val Kilmer, and we just see his life documented through everything that he's recorded in his life, whether it's through video footage or footage from the movies he was in. And of course, we all know by now the current state that he is in. We get to see how he got from here to where he is right now, and it's just beautiful seeing how precious life can be, and just God bless that man. And he is a great actor, well, was a great actor, I should say. I mean, I haven't seen him in movies lately, but just wow. What's your thoughts on Val?
I have to see it.
definitely watch it. It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my list.
Coming in at number 7 is Dune, Part 1. Now, my history with Doom is very minimal because prior to this movie came out, I never read the books or watched the David Cronenberg movie that was released in the early 80s.
So much.
Oh, I did. but yes, and it's better than it's better than Flash Gordon, that's for sure. But it's still ain't a great film though. But
Flash Gordon has its own little following. Don't come back, Flash Gordon.
And so does Dune from the 80s. But no, what I'm saying is like watching the Dune movie from the 80s, it got me familiar with the lore so that when I went into Dune Part 1, I knew everything that was happening, and Denis Villeneuve, who is the director of the new movie, he did his thing, and yeah, because Denis Villeneuve, he's a hit and miss director for me because sometimes his movies are good, but then he makes some movies where I'm just like, get a fucking move on. Like, I have yet to watch Blade Runner 2049, but I'm gonna get to that eventually. But Dune Part 1, I loved it. I love the visuals. I love the music. I love the performances in it. Though there were some performances we didn't get much of, particularly Zendaya. But I can't wait to see Part 2 in 2023. Have you seen Dune yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because I keep asking you.
Yes. Like I said, don't watch the 80s version. Just stick with the new and improved. It's not like Mortal Kombat where you watch the old version and forget the new one. Taking shots.
But coming in at number 6, now I don't care what anybody says. At number 6 is Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't care. Yes, is the plot dumb and stupid? Yes. Whether there's some, but I don't give a damn. That was one of the best theater experiences I had. I saw the movie in IMAX. That movie gave me exactly what I asked for, which is a dumb, fun monster movie with two of the most iconic monsters fighting each other. And spoiler alert, we got thrown at the end with Mechagodzilla, and they both came together. That's just exactly what I needed. Just a little streamlined, put together hackney plot that leads up to the two of them fighting. That's all I could ever ask for. Thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong?
Kong should have won. Kong should have won. They did him dirty.
Nah, don't sleep on Godzilla.
Nah, they did him.
Why? How should Kong should have won then?
Kong should have, because he's the one that put the finishing blows on Mechagodzilla when Mechagodzilla was whooping on the original Godzilla.
Okay, but Godzilla fought Kong first, and at that point, Godzilla was probably too tired to fight at that point. So that when it got to Mechagodzilla, he was just out.
Yeah. Kong lost. He lost, and he still came out with a victory.
I'll say this: Godzilla, he won the battle, but Kong won the movie.
Hey, Harambe. All right.
Correction: Godzilla vs. Kong was my number 6. This is my actual number 5, which is my favorite musical that came out this year. And as somebody who's not even a huge fan of musicals, I'd say this was a good year for musicals, and that is In the Heights. I remember this was another movie that was supposed to come out in 2020, but it ended up coming out in 2022. And after watching Hamilton, I am on the Lin-Manuel Miranda train, and this was truly his baby. In fact, a lot more than Hamilton.
I don't know about that, but
well, really, all of them are his babies. But I'm saying like Hamilton is like he made that. I'll say like he made that to like make a hit. But In the Heights, he made that for himself. Like, that was the play where he came out singing. But In the Heights, I just love that movie from just the representation. The music wasn't actually bad, and just the story was a bit all over the place. But how it all comes together in certain aspects, I still liked it. It was probably one of the fun times that I had watching a movie this year. So, what are your thoughts on In the Heights?
In the Heights is on HBO Max right now. It's back on HBO Max, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. I enjoyed it myself. I'm so glad I managed to catch Lin-Manuel again.
And speaking of which, he also directed on Tick, Tick, Boom, which I mentioned earlier this year. So this is definitely the year of him. I mean, he wrote the music for Encanto, and then Vivo, which was released on Netflix. Like, Lin-Manuel Miranda is an in-demand fella. Coming in at number 4 is King Richard, which stars Will Smith as the father of Venus and Serena Williams. That was probably one of the most touching movies I saw this year, and I learned a lot more about Venus and Serena Williams than I ever did. And it's not that I didn't follow them, and I greatly appreciate their impact in the world of sports. It's just I knew very little about them at times. But I learned a lot about them, and he was definitely Father of the Year. He knew what he was doing, and he was actually a father of a famous person that wasn't like Joe Jackson, I should say. Like he was still stern with them, but still a loving father at the same time. This is definitely Will Smith's best performances in years, and I hope he gets an Oscar nomination. And just King Richard. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but go in the theaters and see it. And I don't know if it's still on HBO Max, but whenever it comes back on HBO, it's not. No, but when it comes back on HBO Max, watch it. Thoughts on King Richard?
King Richard was actually a very good movie. I was impressed with it. I managed to finally go and see it. Because I'll be honest, I have stern parents myself. So I was a little hesitant to watch it. I was thinking, PTSD. But I enjoyed King Richard myself. He was actually a firm father. He wasn't too hard on his kids like Joe Jackson. And he still managed to turn out pretty good.
As we all know now, like he did right by his kids. So yeah, King Richard at number 4. At number 3 is The Suicide Squad. Yes, Warner Brothers getting redemption for DC yet again. They actually did right by the Suicide Squad.
Thank God.
Yeah, James Gunn, he really did it for him. And I can't wait to see what James Gunn does with Guardians 3. But for the Suicide Squad, he took characters that are relatively... He did what they should have done with the first film, which was have a bunch of red shirts and be like, okay, these are the people that you actually follow. And not only you followed them, but there are characters... He made us care about the characters, like with King Shark. They made us care about Bloodsport and Ratcatcher. We all hate rats, and they made us care about rats. They even made us care about a starfish. They gave probably one of the best scenes with Harley Quinn. If you haven't seen The Suicide Squad, I highly recommend that. It was a lot better than the first film, and I don't have no issues with the first film, but it still had issues nonetheless. But The Suicide Squad, this is the superior version. Yeah, what are your thoughts on The Suicide Squad?
I had plenty of issues with the first movie, but we're not going to get into that. The second Suicide Squad is a go see. It is back on HBO Max, so you can go see that. There are also other Suicide Squads, animated version, DC, can't go wrong.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Another jab. Which is also on HBO Max. Go and watch it. Go check it out. Get to see the actual Suicide Squad in all its bloody glory.
And I'm definitely curious about the Peacemaker TV show that's getting ready to come out, though. So, going back to Suicide Squad. At number 2 is Spiderman No Way Home, which is probably the most anticipated movie of 2021 for a number of reasons, and it just now made $1 billion, which is impressive given that we are still in a pandemic. But Spider-Man No Way Home, like, it pretty much, it not only gave me what I asked for, but it also did it right. Like, it was like the movie, it had fan service, but it didn't beat you over the head with the fan service. It's like they moved it into the story. Of course, they brought back my boy Toby. Yeah, spoilers all around, because the movie's been out, the movie made $1 billion. If you really wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now. But yes, they brought back my boy Toby. They actually did right by Andrew Garfield and made me a believer in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Hashtag bring back the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Whatever that hashtag is, I do want to see an Amazing Spider-Man 3 if they actually do go back and make it. And not only that, but they made me a believer. Well, I won't say I was never a believer of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I do feel like with Tom Holland's Spider-Man being in the MCU, that kind of hindered him a little bit. And by the end of that movie, him as a character is in a more mature place. And they took in the MCU training wheels off of him, so now he has to stand on his own. Of course, they brought back all the villains and did right by them. They brought back Matt Murdock from the Daredevil TV show, which might set up some pretty good things. Just Spider-Man No Way Home. What can I say about this movie that hasn't been said by either me or anybody else? What you got to say about it?
I have nothing to say. He said it all for me.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. is my number 2 favorite movie of 2021. But my number 1 favorite movie of 2021 is yet another holdover from 2020, and that is Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, that was a movie where I mentioned earlier with the United States versus Billie Holiday, where I said like 2 movies came out this year that really illustrated how much the FBI will really go through great lengths to ruin someone's life just because they don't align with their ideals or whatever. And of course I knew of Fred Hampton, but I didn't go deep into his history, and I learned a lot more about him. That by the end of that movie, I was just like to me, this is my number 1 because it's the one movie that I saw this year where I'm still shook.
Like watching Roots all over again.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. And of course, the performances like Daniel Kaluuya as Fred Hampton, well deserved for his Oscar that he got for that movie earlier this year. Lakeith Stanfield was good. Just the performances, and Shaka King, who directed this movie. If you have not seen Judas and the Black Messiah, which I would imagine is back on HBO Max at this point, so yeah, if you have not seen that, I highly recommend it.
I stopped watching what is it, Judas and the Black Messiah, mainly because I started to get a little too angry. So you may want to. This is definitely a movie you watch at home and take your time watching.
Yeah.
If you are a color descent,
pace yourself.
Yeah.
But definitely worth a watch though. So yeah, that is my top 10 of 2021. I would say this was a pretty good year for movies, unlike last year, and I can't wait to see what 2022 brings. So we shall see. What are your thoughts on this year of 2021, and what are your hopes or letdowns for 2022?
My letdown, half your list was to let down for 2022. but I hope that I can go back to the movie theaters again. But if not, here's hoping that you stream everything.
I mean, you still could have gone back to the theater this year, but you were too scared for COVID, but which I understand.
Or too cheap. I was like, I knew
too cheap. Yeah, like I'll definitely agree. Like the ticket prices definitely went up because my local theater is usually like $10 a ticket, and that's if you have the AMC stubs. But now it's like $13 a ticket. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, God.
So that's why this year and then going into 2022, I'm definitely picking and choosing. Like, all right, what would I watch? What would I watch in the theater? What I'm gonna stream, or what I'm gonna wait till I can stream or buy it on Blu-ray or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely my mindset. Especially with COVID numbers spiking back up, I'm definitely picking and choosing what I see in the theater.
Oh God, that's right. We may go into another lockdown. Go now while you can.
Yeah, shit, I hope we don't go into another lockdown, but hey, it is what it is. Because I guess for me, I just don't want any more movies to get pushed back because my heart cannot take that again. So, but that's it for the day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my guest, Dave, for coming on. Have anything to say? Any last minute remarks?
No last minute remarks. Like this.
I'm your host, Bradford Lassiter, and this is Lassiter Factory. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Wash your hands. Peace.